trans activist calls cops on J.K. Rowling for hate crime of calling him a man. Now, she's a great example of how you could never be left enough, because she's always been one of those, frankly, obnoxious liberals, right? But she actually is a liberal, is the thing. She's not a far leftist. She's your more kind of traditional liberal, and an obnoxious one, or she always has been. Pure Trump derangement syndrome. You know, all the smug tweets and the superior tweets about how he's so stupid, and, you know, from these elitists, somehow they imagine themselves to have been more accomplished than Donald Trump. But in any case, she's always been a liberal, and she is one of the liberals that, as the left became more and more extreme and absurd and ridiculous, and more and more intent on killing things like satire and parody, she just kind of went along with it. That's what happened to all the old traditional liberals, right? They just kind of went along with it. You know, well, these are just silly kids or whatever, until they end up getting shoved out, but, you know, told, butt out. You're a fascist. Sorry, you disagreed with one thing that we said. Now you're a fascist. So J.K. Rowling believes that there is a biological difference between men and women. That is enough to earn her the title of fascist, transphobe, all of that. So before she knew it, it turned out that she's new Hitler. And the left actually hates her, and they're not liberals. They're illiberal. And so now, let's see, trans activist calls cops on J.K. Rowling for hate crime of calling him a man. So what happened? Best-selling Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling refused to apologize or change her wording after a transgender activist called the police, so this is in the UK, for the hate crime of referring to the individual as a man. India Willoughby, a man who identifies as a woman, explained the situation during an interview with Byline News. Okay, so I've actually got this interview here, so let's take a look. So J.K. Rowling called this person a man, and this person is not happy about it. So let's
J.K. Rowling has definitely committed a crime. I'm legally a woman. She knows I'm a woman, and she calls me a man.
Legally a woman. She knows I'm a woman. See, this is that part where they want to be the ruler of your own conscience, right? They want to tell you that either you have to lie or you just have to believe. You have to take this article of faith. You have to accept it and believe it, at least pretend to believe it. You must. Why? Because otherwise I will be offended. Knows that I'm a woman. Knows that I'm a woman. Really? Can you really make that claim?
It's a protected characteristic, and that is a breach of both the Equalities Act and the Gender Recognition Act. She's tweeted that out to 14 million followers. If you check out the accounts that have been responding to me on the back of that, her trigger, it's absolutely disgusting, putrid, some of the worst abuse I've ever seen on social media. And I know I'm at this.
Have you seen the tweets that J.K. Rowling gets? They're not very nice either. Let's see. India Willoughby. So here's a reader's note on Twitter. Claims misgendering is a hate crime because gender is a protected characteristic under the GRA and EA. However, the protections provided are against discrimination, not biology. The case of Maya Forstater confirmed people have a right to hold and express gender critical views.
Center of it, I might be a little bit biased.
Well, what are you going to do about this?
What am I going to do about it? Well, I've been to the police and I've reported it as an issue. I contacted Northumbria Constabulary yesterday.
So you reported J.K. Rowling?
I have reported J.K. Rowling to the police.
The narcissism here. I mean, the narcissism, reporting somebody to the police because they have a different view of reality than you do. I mean, a correct view of reality.
For what she said, which I don't know if that's going to be treated as a hate crime, malicious communications, but it's a cut and dried offense as far as I'm concerned. And at the end of the day, it is a hate crime. Trans gender identity is a protected characteristic.
This is another thing that's just incredible. It's a hate crime. Hate. So Disagreeing on reality is hate. So they've redefined hate. How is that hate? It's not hate. It doesn't have to be hate in any case. We're just saying, no, I mean, okay, I believe in biology. How is that hate? This is the trick, reframing everything as hate. You know, they call, I mean, modern leftists throw around the word genocide every 15 minutes. Apparently, they don't know what any of these words mean. They don't know what the word hate means. So Rowling clapped back with a series of tweets, apparently. Surprisingly, for such an eminent legal authority, he appears to have forgotten that the four-stater ruling established that gender-critical views can be protected in law as a philosophical belief. No law compels anyone to pretend to believe that India is a woman. And then also added, quote, some time ago, lawyers advised me that not only did I have a clearly winnable case against India Willoughby for defamation, but that India's obsessive targeting of me over the past few years may meet the legal threshold for harassment. I ignored this advice because I couldn't be bothered giving India the publicity he so clearly craves. Nevertheless, we must all do our bit to combat hate. So India will be glad to know I've taken notes of his homophobia, racism, and humane stance on immigration. So I think there's a bit more to this story here. Nor have I forgotten India's shocking transphobia. It appears to have slipped what passes for India's mind that he's previously called a fellow trans woman a man on this very site. You have somebody with a bunch of what would be considered by their own rules controversial ideas, right? But has this, I mean, what else do you call it other than just incredible narcissism? I mean, you want to rule people's own conscience. I find it astonishing. It's just, I guess, somebody who's found a way to gain some power over people and is going to just relentlessly pursue that.